Back at the Heirloom Austin here. Took a day off. I was a little sore after all the pounding. In order to get the inner piece out, I'm going to actually change my plan a little bit. It'll make it easier. I'm actually just going to cut this out along here because this is loose anyway, so this has to come out. And I could actually repair this off the car, this little bit. I can get the inner out with this off the car. I'll have access. I'll cut it above the level of the floor. Do the same on the other side. And that'll give me good access to get rust proofing in underneath. So yeah, that's the plan. I don't know if you really need to see me cut this. The main thing is I got to do it shallow so I don't cut anything behind it, but I mean, it's cutting. If you don't know how to do that, then well, it's cutting. I can't yeah. Figured I'd show you this. I drilled out a couple spot welds in here. Most of them actually were rusted enough that they actually came off with a cold chisel in about 2 shots. There were 2 spot welds I had to drill. The bottom of this was loose. It wasn't actually attached to anything. It should be spot welded, but it isn't. So I straight line here. And the reason I came in here is because I want to be able to weld this from this side. So I got access to that. If I had drilled it out from the other side, I'd have to do some weird convolutions to weld it in. So let's see what's left stuck here. Something is holding it in place. But yeah, you see here, in order to reattach this, I can now come in from this side. So that is the plan. I can also, now with this cut away, I can actually get in here properly, rust proof it, grind it down. I can fix that patch without pulling this out, which is nice. And I can also, because this is away, you see that? That's away there. So I can redo that spot weld to get that bracket to the floor. All kinds of fun stuff like that. So that is why I did it the way I did it. Now too, I can see where this goes in here. I can properly make a template or make a paper template for it. And it looks like this is actually spot welded in here, again under that lip, which is, I put out a thing on the forum asking, because it looked like some guys use stitch welds, some guys use spot welds, and I just wanted to know what the correct way to do it was. I'm most likely going to seam seal the hell out of that as well when I put it back together, just because the less stuff that gets in there, the better. I'll spot it along the bottom and seam seal it. It's going to get a lot of, well, it'll get Dynatrol in that cavity eventually, but for now it's going to get epoxied, it's going to get POR 15, it's going to get covered lots. So that's the plan on this side. I'll use this side to take a model of the other side, make the other side from scratch. So that's the plan. Okay, so we got this all cut out. I hit this with a wire brush manually. It didn't do a whole lot. Got some stuff cleaned out, but I'm gonna hit it with a wire brush now. So we gotta get, the reason I'm using wire brush instead of actually grinding it is because this does a lot less, it's a lot less damaging, a lot less intrusive. So and get her back to bare metal. Already along here, I can see the spot welds. So this is held to that. There's a crack here needs to be fixed. This needs to be brought up to match just that. So there's some stuff to do in here. This bit here needs to be redone. But this part I'm going to fix on the car. But you can't fix it unless it's clean. So. In retrospect, I probably should have come a little higher here, but this will do for my purposes. There's going to be some more stuff in there. I might have to go in there and properly grind it, but yeah, we're just going to keep cleaning this up. Yeah, so this part's okay. This has deeper pits than the wire reel will get to. It's also got some kind of a coating on it that's the wire reel's not bringing off. So I'm going to switch over to a flap disc. Same as what I did on this. I'm going to do to this very lightly and gently, and then we'll go from there. Gently. That's the best, I don't know what other type stuff. It will, however, be handy to plug the thing in. Okay, this has got that same stupid undercoating. And we're having a total inside of this. I think I might need turpentine to get it off, because all it's doing is jamming up, bunging up my flap disc a bit here. It's not coming off. So we're going to go to a chemical thing. I thought this was just like rusty metal, but no, they undercoated it with some sort of seam sealer. I don't know what exactly they use, but it munged the hell out of my my hammer and dolly on the inside of this when I was straightening the dents. I thought it was just like a rust converter or something I'd sprayed on, but it's some kind of a tar or rubber based. So yeah, I'm going to switch to turpentine and see if I can't scrape this off. The metal here is good. It gets thin about here. So on this piece I'll probably replace about yay much. And of course this bit. And then the... Here, let me grab this for you. Where am I here? That bit right there. This I'm going to replace. Strip down, strip over. You can see where I cut the spot welds before. Straighten this out. Make it all pretty. And then once this is done, it's all going to get seam sealed, epoxied. So went through all the steps. Tried wax and grease remover, didn't work. Tried turpentine paint thinner, didn't work. Tried wire wheel, didn't work. Tried eventually what I wanted. Tried heat gun, a scraper, didn't work. Eventually what I wound up using is just a grinding wheel on my my electric angle grinder there. I'll probably try and clean it up a little bit more. This is actually pretty good, pretty bare metal. The stuff here is just real stubborn. It just does not want to come off for nothing. I'll try a different grinding wheel and see what I can do. I don't want to grind too much metal away. Therein lies the issue. So what I'll probably do is just be real careful where I actually am making the cuts all. When I overlay this, I'll clean up that area specifically, and if this is that stubborn, then I may just put my POR 15 right over the top of it, and then the epoxy primer, and then a layer of paint, and go from there. While I am at it, because the other side is, as you can see, mostly gone, I traced out this part on cardboard. But what I did is I traced out the big flat part, then the lip, and then the bottom lip all separately. And then when I taped them together, I did everything on the opposite side so that this is actually a perfect mirror image template to cut for the other side, because the other side needs to be made from scratch. So I've got myself a cardboard template now, which I will use to scratch build this piece on the other side. This piece on this side is going to get cut probably about there, because this is all pretty good metal under here. I mean, I've hit it with a screwdriver and a hammer and it hasn't punched through. This is thin, but it's only thin to about here. Back here, it's actually got some thickness to it, and up here, it's got some thickness. So it's just really this little area here. And I have a feeling that probably has to do with, this is where if water's going to get trapped, this is more or less the water line. And, well, this is good. I mean, this is, yeah, there's nothing for it. That's where it's going to get done. So onwards with cutting a patch for that. There we go. A little bit of a cleanup grind. You can see a lot of the bad spots that were showing up before on the paint. Now that I've straightened it, run over it, they're mostly gone. A couple of tiny little, like here. That'll fill. That's like nothing. Everything else is pretty nice and smooth. Planished it a little bit. Got it straighter. It's not perfectly straight. You can see the grinder lines. It's not perfectly straight, but I planished it a bit. Got it to there. I just thought I'd do that while I was cleaning up the other stuff for the bits I'm going to make. It looks better. I tried to do a video of the fender inner. In fact, I did a video, but the file got corrupted somewhere along the lines. And I'm not a video expert, so unfortunately what I'm stuck with is sharing photos with you. As you can see, I made a cardboard template. I made it off of one side, as I alluded to, so I could do the complete setup for the other side, but also I marked where I'm going to patch on the passenger side, because I don't need to replace this entire sheet. As you can see, I just marked where it got cut out, and made it into made a patch for one side and a full piece for the other. And of course, you can see I also did a cardboard template for the fender support. Lots of test fitting. Tack everything together. Make sure it fits under your outer, over your inner. Everything's going to work. All the curves are right. Then when it's all fitted in, then you can weld it together. So there was lots of trial and error there. It came apart a couple of times and went back together. So you're probably better off not seeing the video. You can just see the finished bit here. It turned out pretty good. The inner part welds right onto that. On the subject of the inner, you can see I was worried about rust because it rusted so bad before. So I built a drain hole when I built the inners and also the patch on the other side. You can see it here. I didn't want to have debris forced from the tire into the hole. So on the inside of that, I built a little, I tacked in a little guard so water can get out, but dirt and garbage can't get in. And I'm sorry that you don't get a video, but that's not my forte. Anyway, hopefully you can see this and like it and comment on it and maybe subscribe. I should have said to do that earlier, but again, not really an expert at this thing. So here it is now, and I'm going to get off to the next video where I work on the outers for you. And yeah, like, subscribe, let me know what you think.